Hey guys, I'm really excited that you're joining us today. We are on one of our weekly trainings that we do for Empower. And so today, what we're talking about is we're going to talk about marketing. So, marketing is one of, I would say, the specific areas that I see that most business owners get frustrated with, get really upset, and overall pretty screwed, unfortunately. So I have been blessed to be in online marketing for a really long time, over 10 years. And over time, I'm sure you would agree, as a business owner, being the recipient of many solicitations of various marketing efforts. Marketing for small businesses specifically has been an area where a lot of people have made a lot of money. But unfortunately, from the perspective of a business owner, you don't really get the results lots of the time. And sometimes it's because it's executed right or wrong, or the business has problems, whatever it is. There are a number of different reasons out there. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of marketing people who might have the best intentions or not, and might do great work or not. It's a mixed bag like any other industry, right? You can go to a contractor and have a great job done, and go to a contractor and just have the worst job done ever. It's not a function of, there are good people bad everywhere. But what I want to talk about specifically is marketing in terms of how, as a business owner, you can make sure to make the right decisions, make sure to leverage marketing for your business, and don't feel like, one, you're getting screwed, or two, that you can't afford it, or three, that it just doesn't work for your business, right? So we're going to talk about those things today, because the last thing that I want any of you to have to suffer for is not having marketing work for your business. Because, we have a number of different clients of Empower. We have people that are trying to get to 10 grand a month, and we have people that are already at $1 million a month and trying to go up from there. But at the end of the day, whether your goal is to get to $10,000 a month, or whether your goal is to get to $2 million a month, the way for you to get there is by figuring out the marketing. I'm not saying that word of mouth referrals aren't great. I'm not saying that there aren't strategic partnerships that can give you business. I'm not saying that any of those things aren't the case. There are a number of different ways that you can bring in new business, no doubt. And we value and recognize all of those things. But when you have a specific revenue goal that you're looking to hit, to grow, right? To grow your business, to take your business to 7 figures, to take your business to 8 figures, to take even your business to 5 figures. You know what I mean? One of the main principles we teach is that your marketing has to be, your client flow, right? Has to be consistent, predictable, and scalable. Right? So a lot of people come to us and they're like, oh, I'm doing networking events. Oh, I'm doing parties. Oh, I'm getting referrals and getting out in the community and joining the chamber and, doing all these things, whatever it might be. I'm closing a big business deal. I'm doing one-on-one marketing on LinkedIn, all those things. I'm not saying that doesn't bring in revenue. I'm not saying that by any means. But what I'm saying is that when you're looking to systematically be able to grow your business, your marketing has to be consistent, predictable, and scalable. Because if it's not, what ends up happening? This is the life that many business owners call us looking for help at Empower, saying, I'll have a great month and then I'll have a crap month. My revenue goes up and it goes down. I'm trying to do the best that I can. But those ups and downs, those areas of feast and famine, are inevitable when you don't have marketing that's consistent, predictable, and scalable. So the first thing to understand is that, love it or hate it, no matter how you feel, nailing down really amazing, effective marketing is one, not the only, one of the key components to be able to scale your business. 100%, that is one of the key components, right? So let's get into that a little bit more, right? Because one of the things that I hear when people call in for help to Empower is they're saying, like, I've tried to market my business, it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? I tried this, I tried that. And when I get into it and we ask questions, right? Because there's no like cookie cutter answer in this type of business. You have to figure out what's going on in the business to be able to figure out what the solution might be and what the real problem is. So when I ask, they're like, oh, well, I posted on my Facebook page, or, I sent an email one time to past clients, or I put an offer on like Instagram or something like that. Again, I'm not saying that any of those things are necessarily bad, or maybe they ran ads, right? But then when you ask, they spent like $50 one time and they did it themselves. That's not really setting up marketing, right? We all need to agree on that. When you look at it, there are a number of different things that need to be put in place for you to properly maximize on the benefit of marketing. If you're not committed and dedicated to making it work, you're just wasting your time and your money. Like if you're gonna drop $50 on Facebook ads, one, do you really know how to run Facebook ads? Is it even remotely something that you should spend the time and money to learn? No. You're the business owner. And one of the things we teach most of all at Empower is that you're meant to lead the business. You're not meant to like take out the trash and do the client work and bill the clients and reconcile bank accounts and learn how to do Facebook ads. It's not about that. It's about identifying what needs to be done in your business and then doing that effectively. So when you're like posting here or posting there organically, right? Or dropping a few dollars on marketing and doing it yourself, you cannot honestly say that marketing doesn't work in your business, because that's not real marketing, right? Marketing is having like a real strategic campaign to be able to get a result for your business of acquiring new clients. Like, what's the objective? What's the offer? What's the hook? How much should you spend? Who should you target? There's a whole realm of questions that you need to ask to be able to make sure that it's being run properly. So you can't just write it off that I tried marketing and it didn't work in my business, because the God's honest truth is that you really didn't do it right, right? So number one, marketing works for pretty much every business out there. I've not met a business that some kind of specific marketing cannot work for. So figuring out the right marketing and doing it properly for your business is the way to ensure consistent, predictable, scalable incoming lead flow so that you can hit whatever revenue target you're looking for. Okay, so we'll talk more about being able to figure out the right marketing for your business. But one, there's no scenario in which you tried marketing and it just didn't work and you have to find some other way to acquire clients. There are a billion ways to acquire clients, but figuring out your advertising and marketing is the one way to make sure it's consistent, predictable, and scalable to hit your goals. Okay, that's one. Two, so many people come to us and say, I can't afford to market. I need to be able to bring on more clients so I can afford the marketing. This is very much like the chicken and the egg scenario. And people talk to us about this, about staff as well. Like, I can't bring on staff. I need money. I need money for staff. I need staff for money. It's the same thing for marketing, right? I need marketing to bring in new money, but I need more money to bring in marketing so that I can bring on more clients. But the reality of it is that marketing is not necessarily the problem. If you're running your business, right, and you can literally not pay for anything other than you performing the work, right? Like, let's say your pricing is competitive in your mind, right? And you bring on clients, but you can't afford money for staff. You can't afford money for administrative help, and you can't afford money for marketing. The question you really need to ask yourself is, do you even have a business? Because without those pieces, there's really nothing in your business. You're not running a business. You're like a freelancer or a hobbyist that's getting paid for the actual work that you're doing. So it's not the end of the world to be in that situation. You've been able to serve clients. I'm sure you've done a good job. But now it's a point where you need to transition yourself from being a freelancer or a hobbyist into a real business owner, right? Let's say you're somewhere in that transition, right? And you have some kind of staff, but you still don't have enough money to market. The problem is not with the marketing. The problem lies inside of your business model. The fact is, your business is not structured in such a way where it's profitable for you to run it as a business, because every business needs to be able to have enough money to advertise and bring in new clients, have enough money to service those clients, not just by you, not at all by you is the way I train my clients, right? And we work with them to scale their business. And so the business needs to have enough money to have the administrative and foundational support to grow. Like right now, if you started bringing in enough business to be able to sustain 7 figures in a year, right? Or in a month, you pick, would you be able to do it? Would you be able to sustain that in your business? Do you have the administrative framework to support that? Do you have the service professionals to be able to deliver the service you offer to do that? Do you have the sales team to be able to convert those leads? Though none of those are marketing questions, and yet marketing and business model and infrastructure are all so intertwined, because without any one of those pieces, you can't get to where you're going. If you turn up the marketing and your marketing works and it's amazing, right? Where are all the leads going? How many leads are falling out? How good is your sales process? What is your follow-up like? How well are you onboarding people? How much time and effort are you spending? And is it costing you in staff costs to be able to deliver the services? How are you keeping up with the clients and the billing? You know what I mean? There's so many moving pieces in your business, which marketing is a critical component of. But if, for instance, you have a bunch of leads come in, and maybe your team are not great at closing those leads or doing that, is it a marketing issue because it's not bringing you in revenue? Or is it a sales issue because you don't really know how to convert those leads and follow up, right? See how those things are completely intertwined? If you're phenomenal at sales for your team and your staff, but your marketing isn't up to snuff, right? Again, those things work together to be able to do it. So when you say, I can't afford to market, I need to be able to bring on more clients, I can't afford it. The problem is not marketing. The problem is much deeper in terms of your business model and your infrastructure, so where you're running and set up to support a real business to be able to get to 6, 7, and 8 figures in your business. Like I said, we have clients that come in and they're doing 6 figures a month. They're doing 7 figures a month. And honest to God, they really don't have their marketing nailed down. So think of it this way. If you got this far without figuring out how best to leverage marketing and make sure your business model worked to be as profitable as possible, where in God's name could you be if you put all those pieces together, right? It's an opportunity for you to do that. But first you have to look and see, really, where am I at? What are the missing pieces? What's broken here? And how do I go forth and fix it, right? So affordability is never a problem. What I want you guys to understand is that when you set the business model up properly, the cost for the marketing is built into your business. And when you do that right, you are able to not only turn on the marketing and have all those other pieces in place that we talked about, but you are in a situation where you can have an unlimited budget for marketing because your business model is structured in such a way that it's already accounted for, and no matter what, your profitability is still there. The last thing you ever want to do is make a 7-figure business and literally have nothing to show for it, okay? And that happens, believe you me, all too often. That's not how we build businesses. We build businesses making sure that along the way, you get paid as the owner and your profit margin and your profitability for your business are guaranteed, right? You don't forego checks, you don't pay everyone and then have nothing left when you're working yourself ragged. That's not the way that you build a business. We have to make sure that everything in the model is built out to ensure the incoming lead flow and the profitability, right? And everything in between there. So that is a key component. Anytime you think to yourself, I can't afford to market, I want you then instead to trigger and say, my business model is not set up right. There's something that's not working in here in the way that I'm running it. I need to change it because there's no such thing as not being able to afford to market, okay? Next, one of the biggest misconceptions that I cannot even believe is out there. Quite a few times people come to us at Empower and they're marketing, right? They're spending money on marketing, but the money they're spending on marketing is on a variety of different things. A lot of it is like more of a branding focus. What I want you guys to look at in terms of marketing is that there are a variety of different ways to market and a variety of different agencies that market and do a really good job. But the question is, what is your objective for your marketing campaign and your marketing dollars? I want you to think of it kind of like a spectrum, right? On one end of the spectrum over here, the objective is branding, right? To develop more visibility, to have a great name recognition, to be shown as the expert or the leader in your business, all of those things. So think about, like, in the most extreme example, if you're thinking about like Coca-Cola or Verizon or really big companies, right, that create a lot of branding recognition and do it through a campaign specifically for that objective, right? On the complete other side of that spectrum, I want you to think of marketing with a specific and exclusive objective of getting a return on your investment, okay? When you look at it, let's say that over here for branding, again, in a ridiculous example, you do like a Super Bowl commercial. They're not thinking that they're going to make those millions of dollars back in like the day, whatever it might be. There's an incremental benefit and an overall benefit to increasing the branding of that business, right? But when you look at a marketing campaign with a specific purpose of having a return on investment and generating new clients and generating revenue, all of a sudden the questions you ask are completely different. Over here, you're trying to ask, well, how many people do I reach? Who's going to see it? What's the messaging, right? But over here, you're going to say, how many actual clients do I get for the dollars that I spent? And what is shocking to me is that when I have this conversation with people that are calling into Empower for help, they literally are telling me, well, that's not how marketing works. And I have to like stop for a minute and breathe, because that is exactly how marketing works when you're looking at focusing on a campaign with a specific return on investment, right? It's just a different kind of marketing. If you're going for like a PR agency that's going to get you on, again, ridiculous example, like talk show appearances or to brand a book or so many different things where you're positioned as an expert, that's great. That has a specific function. But what we teach is that you as a business owner have finite time and finite resources overall, right? And a limited amount of money. You don't have an unlimited budget, right? It's not millions and billions of dollars that you have. Whatever your budget is, it is finite. So every single dollar that you spend for marketing should be focused on a campaign to specifically acquire clients. Then your tracking should be set up to specifically identify how many clients are coming in. And then you should look at the specific revenue that's generated from that marketing so that you can understand what your return on investment is for that marketing. If the agency or the person that you're talking to does not talk like that, you're with the wrong person, okay? The person that runs your marketing, right, needs to own that process and to be doing everything possible to get you revenue generated for every dollar that you spend on your marketing. That's the way you have to run your business, right? They have to work with you and talk to you about what your close rate is, how your sales process is, what your follow-up is, how your emails are, all those different things. Because at the end of the day, it is in the best interest of the marketing company to help you with that, right? Because they don't want to just take your money for like a month. Well, some people might, but the ethical ones don't want to just take your money for a month. They want to keep you as a client for the long run. And if their intention is like for you to succeed so they can keep you as a client for the long run, then they know that they have to bring in clients for you and they have to have a positive return on investment for your marketing dollars so that they can keep you for the long run, right? So what I want you guys to understand is that there are two different types of marketing: marketing for the sake of branding and marketing for the sake of getting a return on investment. But even when you're with an agency that has marketing for the sake of a return on investment, that's only one piece of the puzzle, right? We're talking about how You have to be able to afford the budget. You have to have your pricing right. You have to have your infrastructure right. You have to have your business model set up so that your profitability is there. Because again, even if you turn on the marketing with a great agency, that can explode the front end of your business. What happens? Over here, every other piece of your business in the little formula is breaking, is cracking, isn't solidified in the infrastructure. And all of a sudden you spend all this money and you have a great marketing campaign. Not only is the profitability gone because the rest of the pieces weren't put in place, lots of times you can overload your staff or yourself in terms of the work product, and then all of a sudden the work product suffers in terms of the quality of your work. And it's a negative blowback on your clients, because the last thing you ever want to do is to be able to sacrifice that quality. And then it becomes harder to be able to market because all of a sudden you have negative experiences from your client. So putting all the pieces together concurrently is key to making sure that everything is growing and supported together, right? So that your top line revenue goes up, your metrics all work in your business, and the actual profitability that comes out and goes home in your pocket as the owner is going up. But without increasing your workload, without sacrificing the quality of your business and the work that you do for your clients, and putting all the rest of the pieces together so that your business is scaling properly, right? So like I keep saying, marketing is a key component. And even though we don't do the marketing anymore for our clients, right? Making sure that you're leveraging and using every piece in conjunction with the right marketing is critical to scaling your business and hitting your goals. Like I said, whether it's 10,000 a month or 2 million a month, these are the fundamental pieces to make sure to put together, right? So all of those pieces are key to be able to doing it. And one of the things that people keep coming to us and telling us is they're like, well, I should have a blog and I should do a podcast and I should send out newsletters every month and I should do all these different shenanigans. And at the end of the day, it's not that any of those things are inherently bad. You have finite resources as a business owner. And part of being a leader and part of being a business owner is prioritizing what things are actually going to be the most revenue generating for you and actually take your business where it needs to go so that you're focused on the right pieces, leveraging them in the right way, and they are affecting and impacting and growing your bottom line profitability more than anything, right? So those are some of the things we've talked about. And so lots of times people, come into me and one of the things they say is not only do I not have time to market and bring in new clients, but my cash flow always goes up and down. We talked about this a little more, and I just can't handle it anymore because I'll go and I'll market and then I'll go and I'll fulfill, and I'll go and I'll market and I'll go and I'll fulfill. And what is that, right? We talked about it a little bit. What is that inherent of? It's inherent of, one, the business owner not creating a consistent, predictable, scalable incoming lead flow so that no matter what, your business always has new revenue coming in systematically. So I want you to think about it this way. I want you to think about it like lead flow is like the gasoline that comes into your car, which a lot of people have said. You might be familiar with that analogy, right? But how much more expensive is it to start your car up, go 3 feet, turn it off, and then go and do something else? Come back in, start your car up, go 3 feet, turn it off, and go do something else. It is exceedingly more expensive to do it that way, as opposed to getting in, starting the car, making sure that you're consistently going, and then beginning to accelerate how your speed or your pace is going forward, right? You're actually spending less money when you have consistent, systematic lead flow, follow-up, conversion, and gas coming into your machine, right? As you're moving forward in your business. It is again, one of the other critical components so that you don't have the feast and the famine that we're talking about. Setting up the marketing so that it works, so that it's consistent, so that it's converting from a sales component, so that you can afford it, right? So that it's ensuring your profitability as a business owner. The last thing that I want to cover is that lots of times business owners come to us and they're talking about how they're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, and they call into Empower because they just can't handle it anymore. And then when we talk it through, right, we talk about where they're spending their time. They're spending their time fulfilling client work. They're spending their time doing operational work. They're spending their time in the nitty-gritty details of their business. And they ask me, right, when we get down to it, if I had the money to hire staff, which they don't believe they do, if I did that and I could find the right staff, which again, they don't believe they can, what would I do if they did all the work? I asked them, literally, if you had staff that was capable, effective, trained, and worked in your business model, right? And you delegated all of that work to them, what should you be doing instead? And sometimes it's crickets on the other line, because the reality is they don't necessarily know what they would do to lead their business if they didn't have all the operational work to do. But this is a big part of what it is you do. You're the leader, right? You're driving your business. You're the owner. Your function is to put all the pieces together, not do them, not go learn how to do ads, right? Not go learn how to write copy. Your job as the leader is to put together all the puzzle pieces, right? And when you properly have staff doing the operational work, your business model working, all those different things putting together, it is putting the puzzle pieces together and managing them effectively to hit your goal. Because all of a sudden, let's say you are that business owner and you're trying to put things together to finally get to $10,000 a month, which is a huge milestone, right? All of a sudden, your sites get a little bit higher and you're like, oh, I'm down to do $15,000 or $25,000 or $100,000 a month, right? And your job as the business owner is to put those puzzle pieces together and look at all the pieces, like I say in my training, of your perfect formula and say, what are my numbers here? What can I tweak to be able to go to the next level? How can I adjust my process? What is the marketing that I need to do? Those are the ways to run your business. Those are the ways to manage and market and grow and scale your business as the leader of your organization, right? Not to do all the pieces yourself and learn and bring on a new book or start a new course or be the new guru and running ads for your own business. That's not what the business owner does. The business owner puts together the perfect team, tools, system, resources to be able to execute on the fastest, straightest, most effective path to your revenue goal, period, and execute on that, right? So that's where we come in, right? If you're struggling figuring out the marketing for your business, if you're struggling because you don't know how to afford it, if you heard me say that you can get unlimited leads, right, and afford them for your business to hit whatever revenue goal you want, and you have no godly idea how you can do that, if you're stuck doing the operational work, right, consistently, and you can't even breathe, let alone think about how to hit your revenue goal or even what your revenue goal should be, right? Take what we're saying to heart. Understand that it can be a completely different way. And all of these tools are not complicated. It's simple to get from where you are right now, struggling and not having these pieces working, to actually getting to where the pieces make sense, putting them into place, and then seeing them really take off. Today is November 14th, right? Next week is Thanksgiving. You're going to blink and it's going to be Christmas. I want you to understand that there are 16 days left in November, right? And another 31 days till the end of the year. So that's what, 47 days till the end of 2018. You have the power right now today to completely change your November, to completely change the way that you're going to end 2018. We're going to drop a link underneath the live today, and we're going to offer you a free 45-minute call to navigate and fix those pieces of your business that we're talking about. If you're struggling, like I said, figuring out how to market, figuring out how to afford it, figuring out how to be able to bring on more staff to be able to do it, not understanding how to put the pieces together, stuck doing all the operational work. Today, right, you still have 47 days in 2018 to make it end and not even recognize how much better it could be than maybe 2017 ended, or maybe how the last few months have ended, right? Gear up. Do something different. Don't let this year end the way that last year has ended, and set yourself up so that you can blow 2019 out of the water, right? This November can be your best November yet. This year can be your best year yet. Just because everyone else is like super excited that Christmas is coming and then New Year's is around the corner doesn't mean that you don't have 47 days left, and magic can happen in that time. So book the link below, talk it through with us, and help us help you figure out how to put the pieces together so that you can change the way you're running your business, so that you can leverage marketing the way that you need to and really use it as one of the tools to scale your business to really hit your revenue and income goal and make it to where that systematic process is set up in your business and you don't even understand how you ever did it any other way. Okay, so I hope you guys love the training today. You can definitely drop comments on how it benefited you or other questions that you have down below in the comments. Tag your friends that need to hear it too, because, you know, business owners don't let other business owners struggle in the dark without these lessons. And definitely book the call on the link below, guys. We're here to be able to help you. We have some time today and tomorrow to be able to jump on the phone for you guys and make sure that the next 47 days are maximized and effective and knock your socks off of 2018. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys, and tune into our next training. We do a couple of these a week every week, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a beautiful day.